Sorry about jumping in and out. I was trying to get my audio to behave.
Got about 4 minutes. Trying to connect from another computer as well. It's weird. Okay. This is interesting. I have one computer set up as Ike and another computer set up with myself. Okay, so that's good. Recording's going. Looking great. Let me try sharing my screen. Perfect. One other thing I should get up, which is This one. No, not that one. That one. That's weird. Lost some check marks. Okay. Let's see. So it's 5:30 now. We've only got 5 people, or 4 people, because I'm 2 people in the room. Hey, Greg.
Hi, sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, no worries. So maybe we'll give anyone else that wants to join a couple extra minutes. Hey, Will.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. This was a good find.
Excellent. I love this tool.
Yeah.
So,
Just gonna give everyone a minute to join. And I'm gonna eat some chips. Someone's mute. Come on. Well, the show must go on. So, you know, as Ike always said, we're not in it for the audience, we're in it for ourselves. And more people watch it afterwards than watch it during anyway. So, so we had the first 3 modules, the introduction, the transport layer, protection, and the cross-site scripting. So I'm going to talk about those first. This, you know, I think was pretty self-explanatory. I like the fact that he created a website that actually looks decent, despite the fact that this course was authored, you know, many years ago now. And some of the stuff that he was demonstrating doesn't work the same in modern browsers. But I also kind of like that. I felt like, you know, it's showing you that as you get, as the technology progresses, the browsers help you out a little bit with, in terms of thwarting some of the attacks. And he introduced Chrome's developer tools, which I still use religiously and have for many years. Some of my employees have switched back to Firefox after, you know, Chrome's shenanigans of late, but I don't know, I've gotten so used to the tools now that it's hard for me to use another browser. And then of course, the other tool that he introduced is Fiddler, which that is one thing I want to talk about. Fiddler, it used to be a Windows only tool, and I loved it there. I used it for many, many years. And then I was always wondering when I would go over to my Mac, what do I do, right? What do I use? And there was a program called Charles, I think, that I've used on the Mac before. but it was never quite as good as Fiddler. And now they apparently have Fiddler Everywhere, which is the name for the cross-platform Fiddler tool, which depending on what you're doing, you can use or not, right? So the Fiddler scripts, I think, are still only available in the legacy Windows version of the tool, whereas the traffic sniffing and replaying and some of those other things are available everywhere. And that was basically it. So it's just basically introducing the website and introducing some tools. I assume no one had any questions on that aspect of it.
I just wanted to point out, I actually tried to do those last two tasks with Charles and was able to do it. And it was actually pretty, especially that last one, didn't require any scripting at all. Actually, Charles gives you hooks for doing kind of regex replacement as requests are coming through and responses are coming back. So that actually was possible even without scripting.
Cool. Yeah. Did anyone try and do it with Fiddler Everywhere? Just curious. No? No. That would have been, I had both on my system, found that scripts wasn't there, and so just flipped back to the old Fiddler. Maybe I gave up too easily. I maybe should have tried to see if Fiddler Everywhere would have. I think there is a new version today, actually, or yesterday or something. I saw that notification when I was doing something else. Okay, so cool. That's good that in Charles you can do those same sorts of things. I ended up not using Fiddler and using OWASP Zap when I was doing the actual Pwning Juice Shop challenges. But yeah, for this I did it using the old Fiddler. But that's good to know that Charles works as well. And then he went into transport layer protection, and I think for this, I think I knew about all of the stuff other than the HSTS header. Actually, I think I saved, yeah, I saved the slide, the last slide, just so we could sort of. Yeah, we used to call this the CIA of security, right? A CIA of transport security. And it's actually better written CIA in my, well, anyway. But the authentication is maybe the most important thing that it gives you, because without that, the other two are kind of worthless. And he did a good job of showing where man-in-the-middle attacks can occur. You know, he showed that diagram where there was multiple places, and in fact, it's like scrolled over. There were so many places that man-in-the-middle could occur. And then, you know, if you're going to implement SSL, then why bother doing it half-assed? You know, like. I was using my whole ass. But you know, sensitive cookies over HTTP, don't rely on HTTP to load forms that deal with sensitive data, and don't embed insecure content into secure pages. I think all of those are pretty well known and understood at this point. You know, I guess it's still somewhat easy to make a mistake, but hopefully your tools catch you a little bit there. And then lastly, he mentioned that header, which it was a Internet Explorer only header at the time. But actually, I wanted to do some research there. Is that still true? Does anybody know? God, I need this thing to get out of my way, but I can't make it go out of the way altogether. Tell you what. Just every time I get close, like, just do this.
Sorry, Scott, can you repeat the question?
So HSTS header, I wanted to see which browsers support it now. Yeah. Cool. So now it's, it looks like all of them support it. Chrome, Edge, and Firefox. Cool. I wanted to make sure because he talked about, you know, at the time that it was a Internet Explorer only header, or only Internet Explorer honored the header, I should say. But now it looks like all of the browsers honor it. So that's good. Again, another example of the tools progressing along with our, along with the hacking, along with the threats. So that was it there. Any questions on transport layer security? No? Okay. And then the next one, which was really the bulk of that's weird. Obviously, it's a half-finished note for me. I'm not sure what I meant by that. Oh, yeah, I remember. In one of his slides, he talked about the URL encoding of I, and he used some other encoding that was not URL encoding. Yeah, so you can just find that online anywhere. Hold on. Can I move it somewhere? There we go. That'll work.
I thought he was using JavaScript encoding as well as
yeah, he might have
HTML
used
encoding.
JavaScript encoding. Yeah. Yeah, that's what that should be. Yeah, he showed a different encoding for URL encoding, but that's what it should be for URL encoding. Anyway, just wanted to point that out as a small error in the slides. Anyway, so he talked about, you know, the real threat here, and we're going to see it over and over again, is untrusted data, making it into your application and making it into something that you present or making it into something that's stored. And he talked about the two different types of validation, blacklist and whitelist. And it's always better to do whitelist because you can come up with all kinds of crazy encodings like URL encoding and JavaScript encoding and whatever that sort of bypass the blacklist but are still malicious, whereas the whitelist generally just says only these good characters are okay. And then he talked about how you output encode for mitigating the CSS risk. And remember that you're encoding correctly for the context. And most of the programming languages these days have that sort of built in. Like if you use, for example, Razor, you know, the sort of at syntax and so forth, those do the right thing by default. And you have to actually do something special to not encode. And there are libraries in many cases for dealing with it in JavaScript and so forth. So I think it's, again, it's well understood. It's been on the radar for many years now. And then the third bullet there, the persistent XSS, which we're going to get into when we talk about the Pwing Juice Shop stuff. That's one where the data makes it into the database, and then the data is taken from the database and displayed later to the user. And that can also have, you know, because it could be malicious in the database, we also have to worry about encoding and doing the right thing there to display that. And then, let's see. So there's the, this is another like browser-based protection mechanism. And this, okay, maybe this is the one I was thinking of. That was IE only. So maybe this one, let me check this one, XSS protection. XSS protection header, not missing, but browser. Yeah, so Internet Explorer, Chrome, and Safari, it looks like maybe only Firefox is a holdout. Which I would not have expected, actually. I almost would have expected the opposite. Anyway, so that's a nice native browser defense. And that was all for that. Any questions?
Hey, Scott, a question about the browser XSS protection. Do you know what rules they use to flag potentially dangerous scripts?
No, I do not, but let's check it out.
I mean, I'm just thinking that there are probably websites that run scripts against other domains. So it can't be that simplistic.
That run scripts against other domains. Well, I mean, so there's a native mechanism there in place, which is called cross-origin resource sharing protection, CORS protection. And you actually, that's built in by default as well. And you actually have to, when you create a website and you want that website content, let me try it again, sorry. So when you're creating an API and you want that API to be called by a different site than the site that served the page, you actually have to put something in your API to basically say, I want to allow sites other than the one that served the page to access me, right? Like I want any site to be able to access my API regardless of where it came from. And in doing that, you're actually opening your API to hacks from other web pages. So what you're supposed to do is take the domain name of the website that's going to serve the pages that are going to access your API and use that to lock down your API. I didn't explain that very well, but anyway, there is another protection there, which is called CORS. But this uses, I believe, detection of the HTML and CSS within the page. So it's doing like whitelisting. This is interesting. This talks about why Firefox doesn't want to implement it. And it looks like most of them yeah. So most of them have been removed because mechanisms to bypass them are widely known. Right. So that's, I don't understand if there's mechanisms to bypass them, then why, but whatever. I don't know.
Well, I think the point is that it's an imperfect thing. I just wasn't sure if it's actually just checking for like gets and posts that contain things that look like JavaScript, or if it's actually looking for the response, whether it has a cross-site script in it.
I think it's
wasn't
looking
sure.
for the response, is my understanding. It was parsing the information that's coming back. That was my thought. It doesn't look like it tells you anything about.
I guess maybe the problem is
Yeah.
if they told you how they did it, then it would make it more obvious how to work
How to
around
get
it.
around it. Well, it sounds like it's somewhat easy
But
to
the
get
bad guys figured
around
it out
it
anyway.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's not that important. I was just curious.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, it was always a second line of defense, not necessarily, you know, like the only thing that you should do. You should still be careful and, you know, that sort of stuff. Encode your output. Okay, so that's basically it for Troy. And then the real fun part, I thought, started with the juice shop. So I've already given away the answer to the scoreboard, but hopefully that was pretty easy for everyone to guess the scoreboard page. And what I've shown here, I have selected only the levels 1, 2, and 3, and I have selected only XSS, right? So that's really what we were trying to do for this module. So, but if I show all here, hello, am I running? So, I'm not sure why that's not.
I think you may also have to click on the show tutorials or
Not. I think it's maybe like slow right now because I just booted up this computer again. And I don't think it's, there it goes. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, there we go. So show all. Oh, show all here is what you're saying.
I think so. I just tried it on the one I'm running, and yeah, actually that show all there with the tags should work.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure why it's something slow right now. Hold on one second. I may need to, yeah, see. All right, I'll tell you what, I'll just do that and then I'll do this. Oops. Okay, good. Okay, now show all. There we go. Okay, so let me minimize this right now. The level ones, actually, if we just focus on the level ones, it's level 1 and level 2. Most of those were unrelated to XSS other than this DOM XSS and the bonus payload, right? And they were basically just poking around on the site for the most part, trying to figure these out. In fact, there were a couple of these, I didn't write down exactly which ones they were, where I was just doing something else and then like it was like, oh, you've unlocked whatever it was, a confidential document, or you've unlocked read our privacy policy. So some of them were really simple. This one, the repetitive registration, it was not what I initially thought it was. Like it was something above, like we're assuming that everyone's done it at this point, right? I could talk about it and not give anything away. Yeah. Everybody's nodding. Okay. So yeah, like this one, originally I was trying to just register myself again. And I was having a really hard time getting myself registered again. But actually, and then so I was reading the solution and it's like, oh, you're just trying to get it where your username and your passwords don't match or other types of, exploits in that area. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I was trying to do the wrong thing. So that was an interesting one. And then the DOM XSS, was everyone able at least to get that one working correctly?
Yep.
Okay, good. And the bonus payload was just the same thing with just a slightly different kind of payload or attack payload, I guess is what you'd say. So that one was also pretty easy. Okay, so the interesting part happened when you got over to level 2 and XSS. And the reflected XSS attack. So this one was super difficult for me. I think this is maybe even the one that you were talking about, Will, where it was a level 2, but it was not one that was immediately obvious.
Yeah, from when you're not thinking or versed in doing these kinds of exploits, when you're just coming from like a dev background, some of this stuff doesn't make a lot of sense. So.
Yeah, I think I got off on the wrong track. So all of the ones on level 1, I was not using any tools. I was, just poking around on the site and maybe pasting in some, that information. When I got over here, I felt like I went through the site and I did not see anything. Now, granted, when I finally read the solution here, it's because I don't think I was looking at, I don't know, is this one the one that was in the addresses area, or that was like the
tracking your order?
The tracking one, right? Like, I don't even think I ever even saw that. So it makes sense why I never found it, because I was going through it and I don't know, for some reason missed that particular URL. But that's when I started using this tool called OWASP Zap, which was recommended in the Pwning G-Shop book somewhere or something like that. And so I downloaded it and I started messing around with it. And they have an amazing tutorial, really good tutorial that you can access by clicking on this button, and maybe not. I don't know why that's not working. Maybe it's because I have one. Okay, so I know I can get to it this way. Okay, what? I'm going to hide it over here so that I can, and I'm going to use Ike's. There we go. So that's how I'm going to see what's going on, and I'm just going to minimize this. Okay. Too many things going on in the same monitor. Okay, so let me close all these. It was just because I restarted. Okay. So this tutorial you can get to, I think it's here. Yeah, take the HUD tutorial. And it basically walks you through how to use these little bars over here on the left and the right, which I thought was really nice. They did a really good job there. But anyway, I think for the XSS, the reflected SSS, I got off on the wrong track because I had used the active scan, and it actually found a different place that had a reflected SSS or XSS attack, other than the one mentioned in the solutions. And so I started attacking that one, and that one was related to the address. So if I go over here, I don't have anything checked out right now, but I do have my saved addresses. Oh, is it not? Bummer. It doesn't remember your addresses, so you have to re-register. All right, hold on one second. I'll just do. Use the same one I used last time. Oh, I need to do this. Sorry, wrong thing. Mother's maiden name, sure. Her maiden name is clearly Fubar. And now we log in. Okay. And if you now go, well, I guess you need to add something to your basket. Sorry. Add to basket. Okay. Check out add new address. So this is the area that I was trying to attack because the tool recognized that there was a reflected XSS issue here, but I never actually got that working. Like, so I tried US and it doesn't matter which field you attack actually. Oops, and then one. And so I was attacking this one. And if I grab some, sorry, some, I don't know where I put my, no, well, that'll work. Except for it looks like that is a, okay, and then, good Lord. I guess it really doesn't matter. All right, so if when I now submit, I mean, you can see that it is persisted, but I never could get the actual alert to pop up, right? So they're obviously doing the right things in terms of encoding and so forth. So that's where I started attacking, and then it turns out that it's the tracking on the package. So once you've selected the address and you go through, and I don't even think I entered in a credit card, which is why I was thrown off. So yeah, add new credit card, and Scott, keep leaving my finger on, and then for 1, 2, 3. And then, what do I have to do? Is it 12? Oh, there. Okay, so we have a credit card, and then now, oops, this is getting in the way. So I say select and continue, and then pay, and then track orders page. That's where the this parameter is reflected back here, and this is where you can put in your XSS. Actually, I can do it again. Theoretically, or not.
Yeah, that was my experience when I first tried this solution. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it doesn't work. But in fact, that is the correct solution. It's just that putting it in and hitting enter doesn't actually change the client route, I guess. So I can't remember if I refreshed the page or I copied it maybe, and I don't remember, but.
Oh, here, tell you what, let me also try a different browser here.
But that was one, I don't know if frustrating is the right word, but one thing I noticed is that I was often getting the right answer, but it wasn't, exploiting the behavior. And so it kind of drove home this idea that like, you can't just give up on it after your first try. You've got to keep poking around in that same area.
Yeah. Sorry.
Until you really determine that it's the wrong path to go down.
Can you just paste that entire URL in a brand new browser?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but failing miserably.
Did you do HTTP? Yeah, get rid of it. Looks like it.
Yeah, it remembers. Yeah, so anyway, I think I'd have to go through the login process here. It's probably what I need to do. That was another thing I didn't really like about this thing is if you had the Chrome tools open, the thing that it leaves out is not the choose your language, but the account, which I felt like, that's kind of an important, oh, that's nice. I think I've hacked this a little bit too much maybe now. Okay, so let's try, oh God, I chose a language, that's what it was. United States, I'm looking for the flag. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. English. Okay, let's try that again. So account, login, I should still be registered. And I should still be able to get to, whoops, sorry. No, don't want that. Sorry, no, back. That's the one I want. And then log in, okay. And then add the basket, and then click the basket, check out, select the bad address. Okay, so now let's try. Oh, now it's been, hold on. Still not work.
Could be irrelevant, but actually credit card numbers are not arbitrary. The first digits should obey special rules. I don't know if it makes any difference here.
No, it wasn't that. Oh, you know what else I may have going on is ad blocker. No, okay. So that one did do something weird, but it wasn't the weird thing I was expecting it to do. It doesn't have anything to do with the credit card, which I think the credit card just allows whatever you want. Certainly, I fat fingered it one time and it allowed it anyway. So,
have you tried?
It's basically encoding. See if I wrote down. No, I didn't.
Have you tried maybe instead of using an iframe, using like a header tag or like italic tag or something?
Yeah, but it was this, I mean, I feel like maybe it was this.
Scott, I think the way I solved it was with the only URL encoding was the equals sign, the %3D, but everything else. So I think I left a space, left the colon, but just, yeah, like that. And then I guess the %60s, maybe, I don't know what those are meant to be, but you can put quotes or something in there. Yeah, single quote. Yeah, does that work?
Not for me right now, which is weird. Yeah, I feel like that's what, I mean, it automatically encoded the space for me. Yeah, I felt like I didn't have to do anything. Like it was all just like this and it worked. But it doesn't seem to be working right now. So can I get back to track? Search results undefined. So it's like it lost me. Okay, in transit, track order, boom, boom, boom. No, it's not working right now. I don't know, it was working before. I had that one done, and then now it's not working anymore. I was worried that I had an extension, but it doesn't look like I have. No, not in this one. That's weird. I felt like that was all I did. Once I saw the ID and I saw it appear here, I pasted, I hit enter, and then I agree there was a refresh needed. Like something that I had to like do it again or hit enter or something like that. And then when that happened, the attack happened and I got the little green, you have completed this this particular attack.
Hey Scott, I don't know this stuff really well, but I just peeked at the solution and it had backticks around XSS.
Yeah, I saw that as
ticks?
well. But it wasn't helping. I did that one earlier. No. Yeah, see, that was those %60s that we saw earlier that it had changed. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working right now. It was working earlier. I definitely got that one to pop up. And it wasn't, once I figured out where it was, the attack itself was not hard. It was just finding the right spot that reflected the parameter back to the page, right? That was the real hard part there.
Yeah, that was probably most interesting for me, was that the Juice Shop document was saying, start with a thorough exploration of the site. And my instinct was, I don't really want to waste my time going through the whole site. That was my natural instinct. But I went ahead and went through the site pretty extensively and was starting to get kind of impatient and clicking on this and trying that. And I wanted to get to the juicy stuff. And then this,
no pun intended.
Right. And then this exploit took me a long time. And I finally said, wait a minute, I really haven't explored all the depths. And then finally, because all I was looking for was something that had a query string in it. And there's only two that I found, which is the search. And then eventually, this one popped up.
Yeah.
And of course, I think the key risk here is that you could email that link to someone and trigger the exploit simply by them following it.
Yeah.
Without having to do any hackery of HTTP requests and all this kind of nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of hackery related to HTTP requests and so forth, that was the next thing. Let's see if I can get the right. There we go. So that was in level 3. So we had an API only XSS and client-side XSS protection. So both of these were persisted because it said API only without using the front end at all. I again used the OWASP Zap tool there. Sorry, and then I click, yikes, go away. If I click here, and then I just did like the active scan, and it was finding all of the various API points, and then you can click in the tree here to basically see, okay, well, in the API, there's a, you know, address post, and there's, there's post of products. The post of products was not there. It only had a get because I think no place in the site actually ended up posting to that particular API. And so that was another one. I was like, how are you supposed to find this if, but I mean, it makes sense. Like if I develop an API and I have a get, I probably have a post for it as well to save the thing. And again, I started, up here with the address and the basket items and the cards and all these things before I hit the products one. And when I did that, so let me just replay. The JWT expired, of course. So I have to go close that sites. I have to go here. And let me just make sure that one works. Okay, good. And then I just say, where is that? So this is the, hold on one second. Actually, it might be easier to do with a post. Hold on one second. Let's just do site tree and address post. And then if this one was done recently, right? No, that one was not. That's unauthorized. So I basically need to, here, if I go to history, maybe. You basically have to get a post request, and then you can go into the post request and change whatever it was over to products, and then paste in the payload, and then you can get that one. But there,
You can
I did
actually
have
just
an issue.
You can start with the get, actually, if you're just on the home page.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So are you saying on the home page outside of the Zap or the
well, I was just gonna, if you bring up the yeah, I mean, in the Zap history.
Okay, yeah.
Just as a simple way to bring it up. And then you can see, if you click on one of the items, I think it triggers a get of that item.
Okay, so that, did it? I don't think it did, actually.
Pretty sure that's how I did it. Hold
on.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can get there this way. It's just API, and this is a get of products. Yeah, so that's a get. Okay. And you want me to replace the get with the post?
Yeah, you can just, yeah.
And then the payload, you'd have to get rid of, No, it all looks good actually. Yeah. So then the payload was like this one, for example. Did that work? Oh, I'm still getting the JWT expired. Okay, hold on. Tell you what, let me refresh here and click on one and then go there. Okay, so that request definitely worked. And then post, and then paste, and then replay. No. What just happened? That was weird. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Post, and we get rid of that. Oh, that's why. I got rid of a little too much. And paste, and replay. Success. Okay, so now that that product has been created, we refresh. And this was definitely an issue that I saw. My product.
Yeah, I run into the same problem. I think if you bring up your history again from OWASP app.
The history, okay.
Yeah, the last thing you submitted was the, oh.
Yeah,
Does it not show up there? I thought it shows up there.
It does show up here. It's just, it's been replaced by a lot of other gets.
Other stuff. Yeah. I ran into the same issue and I discovered that the response, I was actually getting nulls back for the name and description. And if you go to the response now, oh no, that looks right.
Yeah, I know. It does look right. Yeah, this one, I don't know why. So replay in console. And now I'm getting JFT expired. Seriously.
You can filter also by products in that little filter box. And then
oh yeah.
There, that, how about that guy? Yeah.
So this status was a 201, which is created.
Oh yeah.
And replay, but it still says JWT expired because now I need to get the new one. Ugh. So that wasn't easy either, but I did get the thing to appear. Let me see if I go. Yeah, see, I chose that and because when I first did it, it was appearing at the very end. And it was taking me a long time to get over to the item to click on it to try and reproduce the issue. But I don't know why that didn't work for me. Did anybody else have the issue with the expiring JSON tokens? Because I don't remember that when I was doing it originally. I felt like they stayed alive long enough that I was able to attack it.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem. The problem I ran into was I was using actually Firefox to replay, which was kind of nice actually. You could look through the network history and then just do a resend with changes. And it would submit it and I'd get 200 success, but actually it wasn't setting the name or the description or anything. And then I realized the content type wasn't application JSON. And so
Oh,
it was
that may actually be
accepting
the issue
post,
here.
yeah, but not actually creating the
Yeah.
item.
So if I refresh, that's a good point, actually.
So then I did the same exact thing through Postman, just to use something I was more familiar with. And, and it worked perfectly the first time through. So another example of, the thing, you're doing the right thing. It's just not, something's not quite right about it.
Okay, so if I replay, I get success. So I know that the token is correct. And then the accept header is JSON. The refer, the cookie, the host. I actually don't see the content type. So let's try that. Oops. And then let me paste in my payload and replay. Actually, did I do replay in browser? Maybe that was the problem. Okay, so success, that's good. Now refresh. Nope. I don't know why. What the heck is going on? There's some weird stuff going on tonight that wasn't going on before.
You can also, down at the bottom where it says items per page, you can just increase that to the very maximum.
This thing is getting in the way now again. Yeah, 36. But it's not there, despite the fact that it said success. 36 is the amount you start with. And the last time I did it, I was getting a 37 and then a 38 and then a 39 and then whatever, however many times I ran that.
Is that how you submitted it before, through the sites and then replay in console?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure I did that.
Did you change it to a post this time?
That's a good question. Okay, last time. So run this guy, this guy, this guy. There's the get. Okay, post. Oh wait, sorry, hold on. First, get and replay in console. That gets success. Then go back over, post, and there's products. Get rid of that, leave HTTP1. There's the name. Replay in browser or console? Let's try console first. It looks like it got created. ID 43. Oh, I know why. Well, no, I don't know why, but that was another thing I was trying. Price 47. Yeah, that looks right. So let's try. So it looks like it succeeded. And then if I go back and I refresh, yeah, okay, now they're there. Okay. So that, yeah, it was probably the post. I think you're right. So now this is where I got stuck again. It wasn't like, it showed that there was a JavaScript alert XSS, but it didn't actually alert correctly. I don't remember what I did to fix this actually. Does
You have
anyone?
to actually buy it.
Okay, maybe.
Where did you put the frame? Was it the name or description?
I think it was the, here, I have that here. Description.
Mm-hmm. Source.
So
And that should say source, I think, right?
yeah, this one. Yeah.
That's the one you used.
Yeah. Well, I used, yeah, the last time I changed source doc to source to do it. Yeah. So I think one of these is source and one of these is source doc. Yeah, I was just trying it out. But let's say it's this one. It still doesn't seem to be executing properly.
I didn't see any quotations around the XSS.
You didn't see any quotations around the XSS. Oh yeah, yeah. Damn. Faulty cut and paste. Okay, well, let's see. So if I go source, I've already used that one. So let me try underscore, and then we'll do that, and then that, and then copy and back here and back. Too difficult. Yeah, I think Postman would be much easier here, where you just have the thing and you can just replay it. Have Postman on this machine. I could flip. Yeah.
You might be able to get some errors in the developer tools if the alert is trying to alert a variable instead of a string.
Oh yeah. See what you're saying. So what is it? Control Shift I here. Yeah. Network. Oh, but I wasn't selected. I hadn't started remembering the requests yet for the network.
Oh, I meant in the console. Because maybe when it's trying to run JavaScript alert XSS, it's going to say variable does not exist. But maybe not.
No, but I mean, what I need to do is replace the packet. I need to replay it with the different, payload with the XSS in quotes. Anyway, let's pretend we did that. Moving on. So the next one, the final one, was client-side XSS protection. And hold on, which one was this? This was also persisted. Trying to remember. That's the backend one. Let's see, submitting. Oh yeah, this is the users one, right? So similar sort of idea. You're submitting a post to users with the email, in this case, as the injection attack. And then once you log in with that user, or with an admin, and visit the administration site, then the box appears. Yeah, so that was the set of XSS tasks that it had us do, or that we were supposed to do for this one. Did anyone try and go further?
No.
No. Yeah, that was hard enough.
It really requires an enormous amount of patience.
Yeah, it does. It's not easy being a hacker. I mean, I think there are a lot of exploits that are easier than XSS, first of all. Like when we get into SQL injection, that's, I think, an easier exploit than XSS. So, but even that kind of requires patience to, like, you have to log in to get information about the database, and then, or I mean, register or whatever it is to get information about the database, and then like continue doing the exploit over and over again until you can discover what it is that you actually want to run. Okay, and then no one, I'm assuming, got to this crazy one.
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I still felt like, despite its, and obviously, I mean, that's the sort of problems that we were running into, like, you know, the quote missing, or the encoding slightly off, or you have to hit the refresh page first, or whatever it is. You know, I still felt it was fun, and it was more informative than reading about how to do that in a book, right? Like it sort of gave you a sense of what you have to go through. Yeah.
On that last one, the client side XSS,
Yeah.
did you discover the administration route?
No, I posted to almost every API in the list, right? But for some reason I missed users. And users, so yeah, I never got that one. I had to look up the answer, basically.
But okay. Yeah, I was just curious. I never discovered that there was an administration part of the site, and I was curious if there was something you used that revealed that.
Yeah, there's two ways. One was you could use, you know, this sort of mechanism, right, where what was it, local host colon 2000.
Just
where
crawl it or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you can crawl it with a normal spider, and you can crawl it with an Ajax spider. And I definitely did that. I also did the attack, the active scan attack, and it found a bunch of, I mean, when I did the active scan attack the first time, it was lighting up those, oh, you found our, you know, privacy policy page, or you've discovered an attack here or there, whatever, right? And I then later reset my database so that I could do it, you know, without that mechanism. But yeah, this, so that would be one way. It would be kind of spider it.
Okay.
And
but would the spider find it if there was no link to it?
No, the regular spider does not find it if there's no link. And the Ajax would not find it if there's no API or client-side link or anything like that. So if it was not like, I think it was though. I think it was.
Okay, maybe from another admin page or something.
Yeah, it could have been. So when you log in, was there something? Damn it. I'm logging over here. I don't see it here. Yeah. I was thinking it might be like here or in here somewhere. But I don't see it. You're right.
Yeah, I found the user's API endpoint. So something, whether it was the profile page maybe or something was calling it. But then I never discovered that there was a /administration.
Did you, what tool were you using to discover the /users? Oh, you were manually crawling and then seeing the traffic?
Yeah, I was just watching what was happening as I was going through the entire site.
Yeah, I don't know where the link was, but I feel like it was on there because I remembered seeing it in the active scan. But
is there a way to view the sitemap?
What do you mean? We were just looking at that one.
No. Oh, I mean, yeah. Is that based off of the published sitemap?
No. Well, that should be a file if it's there. I mean, that would be like sitemap, right?
Right.
.xml.
Yeah.
It's not there, but I don't know if this particular site has it, but if it is, I mean, it would be easily downloadable.
So in your developer tools, you can also look at the, so I'm using a Firefox derivative. And in sources, you can actually take a look at the different JavaScript files that are loaded and just search in those files for various things that could be potential endpoints like administration, accounting, users, and see how it's being built there and start poking around if you know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's easier to run a spider, like you can do that manually, but I think it's a little bit easier just to say, do it automatically for me, just start going off on all of the various nodes in the tree.
100%
but you're right,
easier.
I'm sorry, say again.
Oh, bloody hell. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No. Go for it.
I was just agreeing that 100% it's easier.
Okay, yeah. Yep, cool. Okay, so I don't know how it showed up for me, but I remember seeing it. And so when I saw the answer of users and go to administration, I wasn't surprised by it, but I don't know where it was linked from. Okay, so let's talk about what we're gonna do next time. Here. Okay, so next time we're supposed to do cookies, internal implementation disclosure, and parameter tampering. And there are some attacks in the site related to parameter tampering. In fact, that ID one was kind of one, right? Actually, let's search. Hold on one second. Close your eyes, everyone. Parameter. Okay. Wait, no parameter? Hold on. Oh, I went. That's why. Yeah, so yeah, there we go. So the cryptocurrency addresses, we already talked about that one. An additional product into another user's shopping basket. So I think I'll just grab these random assortment of ones that are related to parameters, and I'll just put them in the link for next week's exercises or whatever.
Good.
And so it's just those three modules here, and then I think there's 6, if I remember correctly, parameter related exploits from Poning Juice Shop. And then the next time we'll do the big one, which is SQL injection, which is always the #1 in the OWASP top 10. And it's the longest, maybe not the longest, it's pretty close. Longest talk from Troy as well. If there are no other questions, that's a wrap.
Great. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Scott.
Bye.